Meredith Shaw, Tracy Moore, and Tammie Sutherland here. Sid is taking some much-deserved vacation. And here we go talking about that waterfront, that beautiful shot. I mean, we're known here in Toronto to have a gorgeous waterfront. There it is. The lake exists. A lot of our city is along it. But there's a new BIA report releasing a 61-pager on revamping the area because, of course, as we have the waterfront, there's lots of complaints about it as well. It surveys and researched looking at other cities, and it's come up with this, reporting key issues like high retail vacancy rates, a lack of variety when it comes to businesses in the area, missing cohesion between eastern, central, and western segments. And the report is suggesting ways to improve the waterfront. They say floating patios, food halls, some nightlife spots, flexible pop-up spaces, and more. You know, that very helpful and more. In surveys and reports. So let's fill in the and more. What do you think, Tracy Moore?
I remember at some point, I think it might have been Doug Ford, or maybe it was his brother.
Yes,
one of the Fords. They were saying there was going to be a Ferris wheel and a big mall. I say scratch it to all of it. I want public spaces in this city that exist for free. And you can sit there and you don't have to buy food and you don't have to buy a drink and you don't have to keep it moving. I think proper urban development includes spaces where humans can just sit and rest and look. There is like one place in the city that you can still go to for free, and it's the public library. And it's literally the only place where someone is not going to move you along for loitering. So everywhere you go, even Dundas Square, it's like, it's a very cold space. There should be more benches there. There should be more opportunities for humans to connect, because I think we're dealing with a wider problem of just divisiveness and humans not connecting with other humans. That's what we used to do. We used to be more interdependent. So I would love to see this waterfront. Sure, have the restaurants, have the bars. You know I'm a bar girl. I want to dance. I want to have some fun.
11 p.m. Tracy Moore.
Right? But please also have spaces where people can go for free. They're not expected to pay an entrance fee. They're not expected to buy expensive food. They can just be and enjoy the scenery and other human beings.
Well, it's even more important, too, as we face a housing crisis and people, you know, living in smaller and smaller spaces. To have those public spaces that are free and are accessible, incredibly important.
Yeah, so I lived by the waterfront for 15 years before I moved out to Pickering. Loved being out there during COVID, and that was key. So in order to get out, because we didn't have a backyard, you had to go by the water. So having those public spaces was great. But the thing is that the ones that we do have so far, like HTO Park, Sugar Beach as well, you go to Sugar Beach on a lovely day and it is absolutely rammed, like packed. So if we had more of that space, that type of space that's really inviting, where you can come and sit and maybe tan or just, you know, listen to some music and hang out by the water, I think that is key. I agree with that. And also, I think it just needs to be year-round space. Whatever is there needs to be something that is year-round, because during the winter months, it just got really dead. Like there was nothing going on there, and a lot of businesses would tank. If there are businesses there that aren't just ice cream shops necessarily, like if we have more diversity, then you'll have people there all year round, and so you'll keep up that momentum.
I love that. Ice skating, maybe a rink.
They had one at shut down.
They had,
that's what we need.
I know.
Like a rink, something you can do in the winter, tobogganing. I don't know, something where people can gather, and because you're right. I
remember one of the things, I went to Chicago once, and I remember they have such a great way that city is set up. I mean, a lot of our waterfront too is taken up with roadway, so it's not as accessible just even physically. But one of the things that they did, and it speaks to a little bit of privatization, so I don't know if I'm fully on board, but if you have a business that takes up some form of waterfront, you have to then develop a free portion of that waterfront and fund it. And I thought that's the smartest way for a big city to be able to find the money in order to make that happen.
Best of both worlds there. I like that.
We're the BIA of BT right here, doing the good work. And there's more Breakfast Television, of course, coming up after this, including this you don't want to miss.